Hi everyone, it's me, Mrs. Boyce. I hope you guys are doing well. So we're still in the same section, it's just a different way to find the area of a triangle, and again, a non-right triangle. So we just talked about the SAS formula, and you did your worksheet and the Google form last week. So we're moving on to just, again, a different type of formula if you're given side, side, side. So the other day I gave you, or even I think yesterday's worksheet, I gave you a side, side, side triangle, and you were able to find one of the angles and then use the SAS formula. So that's still allowed, but now that would just, now I'm giving you a different formula. It's called Heron's formula, that you would actually take out that step. So you don't need to do that. You can just use the side, side, side information. All right. So here we go. Here are our notes. And it says, let S denote over here the semi-perimeter, okay? So what we're doing is we're actually going to find the perimeter of the triangle first, and we're finding the semi-perimeter of it, so that means you're halving it. And then we'll talk about the area formula in the next example. So for the first example, it just says to find the semi-perimeter of the following triangle. So all we're doing there is we're saying, okay, well, I'm going to add up the sides because that's the perimeter. So 11 plus 5 plus 7, and then we're going to divide that because we want the semi-perimeter. So we're going to divide that by 2, okay? And when I do that, you get, on the top, you get 23. So this equals 23 divided by 2. And we know that 23 divided by 2 is 11.5. So that's all I want you to do, just to get the hang of finding the semi-perimeter. Again, you're just adding up the sides, dividing by 2. And again, what we get there is 11.5 inches. In this case, it's inches. Okay, so that's your semi-perimeter. So that's what you're using for the S when we get to the next example where we're actually finding the area. So let's go down there to our example 2. And now it says to actually use Heron's formula to find the area. Okay, so the first thing, again, you're doing is you're finding the S, the semi-perimeter. So let's write S equals. And we're going to do 6 plus 13 plus 9. Oh, why did I do that? Shifted, I guess. So 6 plus 13 plus 9. And then again, we're dividing that by 2 because it's the semi-perimeter. So when we divide that by 2, right, we get, let's say equals. So we're going to say that equals, that whole thing equals, well, 6 plus 13 plus 9, right, is 28, and 28 divided by 2, we're going to get 14 as our S. Okay, so that's important. That's what we're using in the area formula now. So 14 is the S. Okay, so if you need to, go back up to the top of the page. Okay, I'm going to just show you that now we're plugging in that S, and you're subtracting each of the sides, A, B, and C. Does it matter what A, B, and C are? Nope, not in this case. It doesn't. If it's not, that well, actually it does because I give you angle A. So this has to be side A, right? This is angle B, so this would have to be side B because it's across from it. Then this would have to be side C. Okay, in the formula, it actually won't matter what you subtract first, second, and third because they're all being multiplied at the end anyway. Okay, so let's give it a try. So we have 14 because that's the S. That starts the formula times 14. I'm going to choose minus 9. I'll go in order with the A. Times 14 minus B, which is 6, times 14 minus 13, which is the C. And once we do this, we have to remember that at the end, we actually take the square root, okay? So we're going to plug all this into our calculator. I mean, you could do it step by step. Okay, so when we do this, we get 14 times 5 times 8 times 1. Okay, so when you multiply all those together, you get a 560. And again, we just have to make sure that at the end we take the square root of it because that's the area formula for it. That is Heron's formula. If you take the square root of 560, you get, and let's round to the nearest hundredth, 23.66, and in this case, it was units squared because I didn't give units here, okay? And that's your answer. All right, let's turn the page for one last example. I think it's one last example, yep. One last example. So it says find the semi-perimeter and then find the area. So it's the same thing that we just did, it's just in pieces now. I just specifically say, tell me what the semi-perimeter is and then tell me the area. which you would have to do anyway, okay? So we're going to find the semi-perimeter, so we're going to call it S is equal to 25 plus 19 plus 32, sorry, plus 32, and then we're going to divide that by 2. And let me just put my division there, okay? Oh, what was that? 25 plus 19 plus 32 divided by 2. You can do that in your calculators, and you should get that S is equal to 38, right? The top is equal to 76, and then we're going to divide that by 2, and you get 38. So again, that's the S. That is the semi-perimeter, okay? So semi-perimeter is 38, okay? And then for the area, let's jot that down here. Area is equal to, and again, I'll put the square root at the end. But to start, I'm going to have 38 times. And again, see how I don't have the A, B, and C? It doesn't matter what A, B, and C are as long as you use each side. Okay, so we'll start with 38 minus 32. And we'll do 38 minus 25. And then we'll do 38 minus 19. Right? And again, just make sure that you know that after you do all that, you are going to find the square root. Okay, so what we get there is, I'm just going to, again, do it in pieces to make sure everyone is good with it. So 38 times 6 times 19, I lied, times 13 times 19, if I'm doing it in the correct order, right? Okay, and then when I figure that out, let's make sure you should have gotten 56,316 is what I got. And again, just make sure you take the square root of that 56,316, and you should get that the area is equal to 237.31 units squared. Okay, and again, that's it. That's Heron's formula. So again, it just gives you a different way to look at the area of a triangle. Whether you're given side, angle, side, then you're using that formula versus side, 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 and that's when you're using Heron's formula. Okay, give the Google form a try if you need to. Look back at the notes and enjoy the rest of the day or night, depending on when you're doing this. All right, take care.